I can only hope that this one comes out. This is my third time making this video. It's actually my fifth time making these videos because it's been a nightmare. I guess I am no Khan Academy, or I don't have the technology that he has. But just take a minute and read the problem. Here we're talking about a manufacturing firm which is ordering computer chips from 3 different companies. In the problem you'll see that 10% of the chips they order come from company A. 20% of the chips the manufacturing company orders comes from company B, and 70% of the chips ordered come from company C. Of the chips that are ordered from company A, 4% or 0.04 are defective, which would mean 96% are not defective. Or we could put D with a little complement, right? And from company B, 2% or 0.02 are defective, which would mean 0.98 are not defective. And finally, from company C, 0.5% or 0.005 are defective, which would mean 0.995 are not defective. Okay? And what we'd like to do here is we'd like to find out, like, what's the probability that a chip comes from A and is defective? And we know when we use the word and that we're going to multiply. So we're going to do 0.1 times 0.04, and we get 0.004. Then what's the probability that a chip comes from A and it's not defective? And again, that word and telling us to multiply. Okay, and the probability that it comes from company B and it's defective. The probability that it comes from company B and the chip is not defective. The probability that it comes from company C and it's defective. And the probability it comes from company C and it's not defective. Okay, so I want to go back to our question. Hopefully you did read the paragraph, and I'd like to talk about the question. The question is, what is the probability that the computer chip came from company B? Well, you might not know this, but this is a conditional probability. And the probability, what they're asking us is to find the probability that the chip came from company B, given that we know it's defective. That's the condition. We know it's defective. Okay, and hopefully you read the chapter 15 notes, and you know the formula for this conditional probability would be the probability that it came from company B intersect that it's defective, or again we'd read that intersection sign as and, the probability that it's from company B and it's defective, divided by the probability that the chip is defective. And again, just a reminder, the formula for conditional probability, this is our conditional probability. We're looking for the probability that the chip came from company B, given that we know it's defective. And this is the formula we will use for that conditional probability. So according to our formula, we know B intersect D is right here. That's B intersect D, the probability that it came from company B and it's defective. Now, how about the probability that the chip was defective? Well, the chip could have been defective and been from company A, or the chip could have been defective and come from company B, or the chip could have been defective and have come from company C. And we know whenever we use that or word, we add. So the probability that the chip could be defective is the sum of these individual probabilities. And when I add these numbers up, 0.004, 0.004, 0.0035, I get 0.0115. Okay, so the probability that the chip came from company B, given that it's defective, is 0.004 divided by 0.0115, which is approximately 0.3478.